two people to speak on this, Kevin Campbell and Jason Newman. If the people that are to speak would come to the podium and speak, we would greatly appreciate it.
I don't know about speaking, but I just got some questions maybe you can answer for, what the zoning is for is conditional use for an event center, is that correct?
Yes, it's Haralson County Tax Map 0048-0005. It's for conditional use for an event venue.
What will be allowed as far as the events and the venue concerned? Is, I guess, a question I've got, and who regulates the venue? And what are the hours of operation? I guess that's the main concern is, is it all night, overnight, 7 to 9, 7 to 10? I know I've used venues before too, and 10 o'clock, music stopped. That's just some of my concerns, So, maybe if y'all can answer them questions, that's mainly the thing. What, will it, is it weekend only, weeknights? I guess also, just is it 24/7? So that's all I had to say. I just wanted some questions answered.
Okay. Maybe it would be good at this time for whoever's speaking for the venue to come forward and give us some information on it.
Okay, hello and good afternoon to everybody. My name is Rodolfo Prado Jr. These are my parents, Rodolfo Prado and Rosalva Prado. Our property is located at 112 Beach Creek Road here in Tallapooza. We have built a 5,000 square foot building on the property that we would like to use for an event center, such as parties, weddings, baptisms, and fundraisers. We would not be using the entire property, only 20 acres to host these events. And we will be operating just on weekends. My parents, Rodolfo and Rosalva, have been in the restaurant business in Mableton, Georgia for 25 years plus and are looking for something new to focus on here in Tallapooza. And for the last 8 years, we've been working on the property to accomplish this. We are open to any questions or concerns you guys may have on hosting these events.
What kind of events do you intend on having there?
Like weddings, baptisms, and fundraisers.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
What hours of operation do you have in mind for your weekends only?
We're looking at 10 to 10.
So
10 in the morning
to 10
till 10
p.m.
p.m. Correct.
I don't have any more questions for you at the time.
We have another person that's coming to speak on this, and that's Jason Newman.
Actually, he was going to ask me the same questions I have. So with you speaking, that answers some of my questions.
All right.
The only other one I would have is there any type of noise consideration that we would have to be worried about as far as a rule or regulation that the county has?
Okay. Where is the nearest house or residential building to that?
Probably Suzanne.
Suzanne.
And Jason. And mine.
We're sort of a little triangle around.
Rodolfo, if you don't mind me asking, where's the building located on the plat? You mind?
About 900 feet from the main entrance.
Okay.
That kind of takes me into my concern on this application, Mr. Chairman. I sent out an email on February 14th asking for items B and item D that are not included in this application. And this board's, I think, very well aware that I've kind of been real hard pressed to stick to the details on these applications, because I'm afraid that we're gonna put ourselves in a spot if we don't treat everybody the same way. So I think this application is incomplete, and I would like to entertain a motion to either deny or postpone until they come back with a complete application.
So what they need is B and D,
Yes, sir.
B being a copy of the plat showing the property lines
Yes, sir, it's
Link.
detailed, it's detailed out on there.
and bearings. This is not detailed.
Well, you got them here, but you don't have the building spotted, so
Spotted
it's
on
kind
it.
of,
Okay.
where's it at on here? One of my issues. No, I think the second part is the, health department, right?
Yeah, it's just a letter from the health department. I understand they already have an existing septic tank, but I guess we just need a letter from the health department confirming that and that it's adequate for the type of use. I think is what they're looking for.
Does this have a kitchen in it on site, or, okay?
See, and they may require, I could be speculating, so I'm just gonna stop.
What you probably need to do is get your surveyor to locate the building on this plat right here, and also be sure that you secure the letter from the health department about the septic tank. And that way, we would have everything that we need to move forward with that. Is that what you're saying there?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, just as detailed on the application, sir, it gives you, we need all that to make our informed decision. I mean, just fairly, whether is anyone in this room, I don't think that's unreasonable.
We'll table it at this time and take it up at the next meeting,
That'd be my recommendation, my motion.
The 8th of April.
8th of April, okay. All right, will that work for y'all? Thank you. Okay. Any other questions or anything pertaining to this request?
I do have one question. On these topics of events and stuff, is there a maximum, is there a maximum number of people that this place will be able to host, or is it just open-ended to as many as they can pack in?
If you would come to the podium and speak, please.
That's what the environmental health letter that he has to get.
Oh, okay. She just answered my question. I was asking about the number of patrons visiting.
If I'm not mistaken, I think that would also, when they apply for a business license, which they may be in the city of Tallapoosa, they would have to go through an occupancy inspection, right, Terry? Just like that letter you see on the wall right there, I think it says 70 occupants for this.
Environmental health will do
Okay,
that.
they'll do that? Okay.
Fire department
Thank
does
you.
it also.
Okay. I thought that was the fire department.
If that takes care of that, then,
I just asked, are there any other questions?
are there any
too,
other questions?
Before we
pertaining-
table it, so in case somebody does not able to make it to the next meeting on the 8th, I think. So, nope. All right,
All righty,
thank you.
thank you. Okay.
You said April 8th?
So I'll make a motion, we table it to the April 8th meeting.
All righty.
I second.
Have a motion second to table to the April 8th meeting. All in favor? Okay. Okay, that moves us to item 2, the application from Parish Pelt on tax map 0103-0009H to rezone 17.63 acres from A1 to C, commercial general business. If I could, I'd like for Parish, if he would, to come forward, or whoever's speaking on Parish's behalf, and tell us what the plans are there.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Parrish Pelt. I am the owner of Cashtown Metals LLC, which owns the property located at 2480 Cashtown Road. 1 year ago, last week, actually, I purchased the property along with the metal roofing and trim business that sits on the property. I was born and raised in Haralson County. The upbringing my parents instilled in me is to do what's right, even if it's not the popular opinion. The right thing to do, in my opinion, for this particular business, property and business, that has been in operation at this location for over 10 years is to have it zoned correctly. There has been a lot of confusion about the total amount of acreage I am trying to rezone. I own almost 39 acres on Cashtown Road, and I'm trying to rezone a little more than 17 acres, not the entire 39 acres. If the zoning goes through, there will be 2 deeds issued for the same piece of land. I have zero intentions whatsoever of developing an industrial park on the property. That's been a lot of flack that I'm hearing, that I'm wanting to put in 100 buildings and create lots of noise, and that's not my intentions. In my mind, a few things will change if this zoning goes through. First, I would like to be able to put a sign on my building that shows who we are. I want to show people that are driving up and down Cashtown Road it's just right now it just looks like a standard metal building. People don't know who we are. I want to be able to advertise. I want to be able to build a nicer entrance and exit to and from the property. It'll help alleviate some traffic out of the road. And third, which I believe will be well in favor of the county and its citizens, I want to be able to pay the correct taxes for how the land is zoned versus how it's currently being used. This business has been in full operation for over 10 years, and I believe it has done nothing but benefit the citizens, businesses, and farms in our community and surrounding areas. I would venture to say the people in this room, if you've got a metal product on your house or business or barn, it probably came from our shop. To my knowledge, until I applied for this zoning, there were zero written complaints from surrounding neighbors or anyone of that matter for noise or traffic or anything of that such. I do not understand why now that I'm trying to do this correctly, I'm getting kickback from surrounding people. The business is not loud. It does not smell. We do not work all hours of the night. It is a very simple yet necessary operation like many other businesses in this county are. I would ask the Planning and Zoning Board to make the recommendation to the Board of Commissioners to approve this zoning request so that I can become compliant with what's already been in operation for over 10 years.
Thank you, Parrish.
Thank y'all.
Before you leave, Parrish, I got a couple of questions.
Yes, sir.
So on the building that's there, how many square feet is it now? I might have missed it.
10,000.
10,000 square
100,
feet?
100 by 100.
And what's the intent if the land is rezoned? What additional, other than the entry, exit, and the advertisement on the building, would you plan?
As of right now, I have nothing planned. There is a new machine that I want to buy. I have not purchased it yet. If I wind up buying, if this goes through and I buy the machine, I would add a building to the east side of the property that would be roughly 50 by 50. It'd be roughly a 50 by 50 building. Okay. And it would be to simply store the machine. It would not be, really and truly, it would not add any additional people or traffic to the operation. We'd be selling a different product to the same people we're currently selling to now.
Okay. So just a future building, 50 by 50 for machine storage, not actually for production or operation or any of that kind of stuff?
That's correct.
Okay,
And it would, yeah, machine storage and material storage,
okay. And then the hours operation on the business?
7:30 to 4:30, and then we leave at 4 on Fridays, cut out a little sooner.
That's Monday through Thursday, and then no operation on Saturday and Sunday?
That's correct.
Okay.
I mean, I go out there and bush hog or cut my grass or whatever on Saturdays, but, you know, as far as business operation, no, sir.
Okay. And no deliveries either?
No, sir.
Okay. Sorry, I'm not looking at you, I'm writing while I'm doing
No,
that.
it's okay.
The east side, that's Cashtown, what most would call the front side.
That's correct. Yes, sir.
Any other questions?
I don't have any.
Okay.
We're ready for the people that want to speak on this.
Yeah.
Okay, this time we'll ask Chad Robinson if he would come to the podium and speak.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Harry, I'm glad to meet you. Wish it was under different circumstances, certainly not a personal attack against you, okay? I just have some concerns, and I appreciate the time. Thank you, guys. How much time do I have?
3 minutes.
20 minutes?
3 minutes.
Oh, Lord, okay. I better talk fast.
We don't want you up there.
That's hard for me to do in 3 minutes, so let me get after this, okay? It's good to be able to finally discuss this, okay? Been a lot of stuff going on, but my name is Chad Robinson. I strongly oppose this rezoning request. My family and I are lifelong residents of Haralson County and have lived at 2638 Cashtown Road, going on almost 30 years. We built our forever home out there due to its natural beauty, quietness, and surrounding zoning category. In fact, the property and surrounding areas are actually more residential than ag, okay? We got a lot of beautiful homes out there, okay? But we too take immense pride in being part of such a wonderful place to live. We've invested significant resources in our property as well. My upbringing is a little volatile and often incredibly challenging, and I guess I learned early on that not everybody plays by the same rules, okay? Many people choose and find a way to circumvent rules, regulations, and laws to their singular benefit. Sounds a lot like the previous owner. And I'm proud to say that I've always played by the rules, okay? And I take a lot of respect and have a lot of respect for people that do play by the rules, okay? This rezoning thing is very controversial because of the 10-year existence, illegal, non-compliant. That's a big word. We keep talking about here and doing the right thing. That's another big statement, okay? This rezoning matter is very controversial and questionable on many fronts. My proposal, the right thing to do for this business, which has been operating illegally for over 10 years, is to shut it down and relocate it to a suitable zoning area within the county, okay? And I read the applicant's letter of intent, and I'm going to follow point by point. One does not need 17-plus acres for an improved advertising, okay? It blows my mind, too, that we're having this discussion and consideration. Our family was here long before the non-compliant business was established, okay? I was not aware that that business was operating illegally, okay, until this rezoning thing came about. I didn't appreciate some of the comments that I heard that, you know, I should have stopped it, okay? That's a big problem, okay? When county officials and elected officials obviously turned a blind eye to it. So for the record, this business has been operating illegally, non-compliant. Slap in the face to every honest, hard-working, tax-paying citizen in Haralson County, in my opinion. I will state, this business was not disruptive in the past, okay? And it has been tolerable over the past few months. However, I cannot seem to get any assurances from the planning and board of commission members that future operational activities will not become very disruptive and lead to devaluation of my property. I understand you guys can't talk about it. I didn't know that. I was questioning, so I respect the the privacy and following the rules, but I got very frustrated because I couldn't engage in a sound discussion about something that could diminish my property value, and more so disrupt my way of living, okay? The current location of this business does not offer a competitive advantage over a business located in Weed Valley, Alabama. I have not evaluated certain demographics, but common sense will prevail, okay? This business is gonna do well anywhere in Haralson County. I also know that the initial applicant was pulled, okay? It was pulled because of a lot of technicalities. This thing came in right there at Thanksgiving, okay? Didn't follow the rules, wasn't done right, whatever. So here we are with the same thing. Different zone request. Following proper procedures and doing business the right way is most critical, especially when it comes to consideration of spot zoning, 17 and a half acres. That's a big campus. That's a lot of land, okay? And I know that the land wasn't suitable for landfill, industrial park, nuclear power plant, but changing the rezoning request to this commercial general business does not change the impact of the request at all, okay? And I know initial intentions in my mind, are all easy statements to make, but they're purely unenforceable, okay? We know that. We know that we don't need 17 and a half acres to place a sign on the building. A nicer entrance and exit are preparation for significantly higher traffic. The roadbed is right next to my property. The right thing for the county to do is to relocate this business to a more suitable area. This action will provide the right pathway for him to pay taxes correctly and cause the least amount of disruption to nearby property owners. Okay? The flat field located in the center of the applicant's property is just off my back porch. I'm concerned, okay? If the roles were reversed, everybody in here would be right here stating those same concerns, okay? I just met him, okay? And I want the applicant to know that I'm pro-business and pro-property right. I wish him much success. Strong, young entrepreneur, we need more like you, okay? And I'm here to work with him and support him the best way I can. But we gotta have some conditions of use, and we need to be on the level with this, okay? Thank you for your time, I appreciate it. How'd I do? I was talking fast. All right, good deal. All right, thank you, appreciate your time.
Next is Braden Robinson.
Hey guys, thanks for letting me speak today. My name is Braden Robinson. I reside at 2638 Cashchum Road. I got a lot of heritage off of Cashchum Road. I got my parents' and grandparents' property right there that this is impacted. And I'm here today not only to advocate for them, but me as a future landowner there as well. This is no doubt a complicated zoning area. There's lots of complications with it, but if anything, zoning's a local issue, and I really do appreciate if you take in local concerns with this case. I just have a 3-strike point. Number one, historically, this building's problematic because it was not permitted properly. Records show that from your business license office as well as permitting office. Number two, the Northwest Georgia Regional Commission, they produce a policy tool. Most of you might know it as a comprehensive plan. That's by no means, an ordinance, but it's something that you should follow. So there's already been community input there, and the subject property being commercial, industrial, what have you, commercial on the lower end doesn't match up with the surrounding zoning categories. There are a lot of things that could happen once this takes place in the event the applicant were to sell out or change ownership. There's a lot of things that could open up, gives it the base zoning when the surrounding categories are not cohesive with that. Thirdly, there is substantial input from adjoining property owners, especially those that are majorly impacted. Take that in concern, please. I'd like to see some stipulations at the very least, control those endeavors that the property owner has. Now, I think it would be wise if there was an owner-developer agreement which was entered. When you know something's not properly permitted, it just opens up the gateway to it festers. So I think there needs to be at least some stipulations. And when it's not properly permitted and you see 17 acres, I think what currently is operating is functional. But when you look at it and it's not, it's not zoned properly for that, it's got the floodgates for a lot of potential negativity with the adjoining property owners. But that's all I have. I appreciate your time, and please know this is no ill will to the applicant. Just keep those 3 points in mind as you make your decision. I do appreciate it.
Next, we have Danny Egan.
I think most of my questions have already been answered. I'm Danny Egan. I own the property on the west side of the creek that his property runs to. And my main question is, I want to know how close that zoning is coming to that creek.
I think we have a plat here.
I'm a lifelong resident of that area.
It's roughly a half a mile away.
Half a mile away from the creek.
Yes, sir. It's a little over 410.
And I guess this may be a late question to ask, but what do you actually do in your business?
Metal roofing and trim.
Fabricating?
No, sir, just that we roll form metal roofing and brake trim.
Would you have any intentions of going closer to the creek with storage or any scrap or anything like that?
No, sir.
Well, I too am a country boy, farm boy. In fact, we farm the land within 100 feet of that creek. Truck farming. And basically, I don't like to see areas change. And what I learned here today, my question is why the area to be zoned is as big as it is. Thank you.
Sarah Herman.
Thanks for letting me speak. I'll try to be quick. A lot of the things that Chad said apply to me too. My name is Sarah Herman. I live at 2593 Cashtown Road, which is just kitty corner to the property in question. My husband and I have owned a little over 9 acres there for the last 5 years. And we do actually farm that land. And the reason we bought there was because it was A1 zone, which is meant for agriculture and common farm practices and forestry. And I have a question that if this spot zoning was approved to C/GB, does that open that up for the rest of the neighborhood? And from what I understand is that the new zoning allows for, if it is a predecessor for the rest of this road and the area, that in that C/GB, that includes gas stations, car washes, signs, storage facilities, shopping centers, businesses, retail, and all that. And 17 acres seems like a lot of area in case Mr. Parrish decides to sell. They're young. I don't behoove them trying to make a living and support their family. But as was brought up before, it has been an illegal business. And I know he'd like to expand with new building, new machinery and stuff like that. And that will increase Cashtown Road traffic, which is already overstressed. And the other thing that I had a question about was when I go down this list of the standards for governing the exercise of zoning power that you had listed out here, it seems like the number one, the existing land uses and zoning classification, we're all A1 right there. And I don't know how many A1 zones there are in Haralson County, but one of the things that keeps a county beautiful is the fact that you can drive down and not see a big sign down the road. And you can see some small farmland and some residential. And this part of Haralson County is a beautiful, picturesque place to live. And we have long-term residents. My sister has owned her property there. She has 600 acres right there for 50 years. And, so we have a lot of, not just my home, but family ties and residents and neighbors who are all very concerned about opening this up for a commercial zone change. And then as we go down, you know, does this drop the property values around us? I would say yes, especially those of us who are adjacent and directly across the street from this property. And, the traffic is definitely going to increase right there where we live, you know, right there where the school bus turns around, you know, I mean, that is where the school bus turns around. And, I think that would be a real shame. Also, we're down at number 10, it says whether the zoning proposal is in conformity with the policies and intent of the land use plan. Well, that area of the county, the land use plan includes agriculture and forestry and residential. And no, it does not agree with that, in my opinion. And that's, I guess, my main question to the zoning board is, does this change in zoning open up the rest of our neighborhood to that, or is it just a spot? And does that spot zoning transfer with transfer of ownership? Like if he were to sell, could somebody buy that land at 17.65 or whatever that's rezoned, buy that and put up a Dollar General? I mean, I don't know. That's my question. So thank you.
Thank you.
Adam, you want to answer her question about the,
I mean, to answer your question, could they, if it gets rezoned and be sold, yes, it could be resold, and it would most likely sell at that new zoning classification. Could they put up a Dollar General? Not without board approval.
that doesn't change all the property surrounding in the area. Each one would have to come
As far as
on their
property value, I mean, I'm not an expert on that, but I don't think it lowers your property value just because it's zoned commercial. Mr. Chairman Ridley, would you got any input on that? Yeah, we could get an answer to that, but I can't factually tell you that yes or no, it will. I don't believe it will, but I can't tell you for sure.
Well, you do have businesses all up and down Cashtown Road. They are other businesses that are there, and it hadn't changed their property values, having those businesses there. And so,
The question is, are they permitted and zoned correctly, or are they operating the way the metal business did for 10 years?
you're asking us a question we probably don't have access to.
That, I don't think that falls under our purview,
No, it doesn't.
but that may be a good thing to look into.
I would say that it's been looked into more in the last 3 or 4 months than it had previously. And I've been here 6 years. I didn't know that it didn't have a business license, it wasn't zoned right. You know, you think a business up like that, you know, it's got license, you know. I don't check people weekly every time I go in to see if they've got a current business license. You assume that they do. But I will say that they've been checked more recently than they have in the past.
Well, I think the thing here for me is this zoning board, some people won't like this term, but we didn't create this problem. This is one we got to deal with. So I'm a fan of the comprehensive plan, as Mr. Robinson mentioned earlier. But this was built before the current comprehensive plan came out. So if this was a new business, virgin land, I think you definitely have to follow the comprehensive plan. But now the question is, what do we do with this business that I bet you there's more than 5 people in this room have shopped at. And knew was there in the last 10 years. What do we do with it? Is that all the public participation?
No,
I got one more, and then,
So, I mean, that's just kind of where I'm at, but
we'll go ahead and hear from the other one, then we'll make our comments. Alex Flanagan.
Thank you. My name is Alex Flanagan. I'm representing the Flanagan family. We live at 2571 Cashtown Road, directly across the street from the metal build business. When we bought our home, we had our real estate agent look at everything around us, and everything was A1. We were like, great, that's wonderful. We want a very serene setting to raise our boys. We noticed once we had moved in that there was some traffic in and out. We didn't go and check to see if there was a business license across the road. I know that you've already established that that wasn't y'all's doing. But in the last year, I noticed there's 18-wheelers parked outside my house overnight. I have young children in my home. I don't like that. There is a lot of traffic up and down through there. As a resident, I'm in my home. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I send in pictures and videos where people are slamming on their brakes because people are pulling in. Stuff is falling off of people's trailers into the roadway. It almost hit my SUV. We were coming home and it almost hit it. So there's so many things going on already that as a resident, as a mother of my boys being here, there's already traffic. There may be a wreck. There's a lot of things going on already across the road. If it does become commercial and he builds more buildings, that's just gonna increase. That's gonna make that traffic even worse. And I'm scared for people's safety on the road because I have almost seen wrecks, and like I said, I did send in video and pictures of that. And I'm not looking to get anybody in trouble, but I feel like if he were to go to an industrial park or somewhere where that type of business is done, that just, to me, makes more sense. And 17 acres, it really doesn't make sense, 17 acres commercial, across the street from my home. And our home is in a trust for our boys. We borrow money from our trust. If the value of our property goes down, then that hurts our family for a long period of time that we set for our 3 boys. So I strongly oppose it. I hope he does well in his business, but I hope it's not across the street from my home. Thank you.
thank you.
That's everybody that's speaking.
Is there any other participation you might get a chance to sign? You wanna ask?
I'll ask and see, does anybody else have anything to say?
Mr. Pelt, why are you trying to rezone 17 acres?
In the event that business does grow, currently I have no intentions of using 17 acres. Of that 17 acres, I'd say half of it is actually usable. My surrounding neighbors will know there's gullies and creeks and hills and, obstacles everywhere you turn on that 17 acres. Where my current building is now, I'll be hard pressed. I was talking about putting up a 50 by 50 building and a new entrance. I'd be hard pressed to have enough room to do that, without moving into the field that's furthest west of my property I'm trying to rezone. The whole it would be impossible to use the full 17 acres. I feel like it's what I have to do, because whether it's usable or not, it's still drawn in the same plat, but that 17 acres is not 100% usable as commercial space per se. Buildable commercial space.
So the topo, there's boundaries within the topo, limitations in the topo, okay.
May I have a comment, please?
I'm fine with it.
We can move dirt. 17.5 acres is still a significant campus. If there's portions of the property that's not usable, you can move dirt to accommodate any footprint. Just want to make sure we're clear about that.
Yes, sir.
I think it's just more, points for y'all, but, you know, the way this lot is structured here, if you look, is, I think this is 50 feet, if I'm looking at that right. That's a significant, small tract of land, creating, quote, a flag lot. That's, I think this is one of the concerns I have with the way the layout's done. Because that's L2 up there. I think it's 50 feet.
50.23.
Yeah.
But it's owned by the same property.
Right. Well, it'd be two different
Yeah.
tracks, though, because it's be
Mm-hmm.
different zoning than that.
Where's the building located on this?
It's right here, right now.
Right now.
Yeah, this is the one that's there, and I think we was talking the 50 foot, we had to
Entrance
come
there,
over here. Yeah, entrance is right here, right now, where this
He
is.
said east, so it would be.
Oh, I thought he said west, sorry.
I think west was where he
Where
referred
this
to the
was, okay.
topo being,
Got it.
where he doesn't think it's usable.
Any more discussion? What's the feeling of the commission? Have a motion?
Well, like I said, Mr. Chairman, this whole illegal business and those allegations and all that, I mean, that's something that we didn't create. I mean, so, not a fan of spot zoning, and I'm a fan of following the comprehensive plan. But I'm not a fan of taking a business that, just because the people before us didn't follow the rules or do what should have been done, of shutting a business down. So, I make a motion, we approve this rezoning as requested.
Have a second? I'll second the motion. Any discussion?
I have no more.
I think the only thing, again, that we need to consider is comprehensive plan and the land layout. I mean, this is two issues for me. So.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, let it be known by raising your
Follow
hand.
the comprehensive plan for a business and it's already been, you know, like I said, if it was virgin land, then
Right.
it'd be a totally different story. We're not gonna put up a new business, new warehouse.
The thing I have is that there's businesses all up and down Cashtown Road.
There's multiple.
And you go up and down, and there's residential areas on every side. All right, okay. I'm just stating my opinion, okay?
I mean, I'll say it, there's a Dollar General at the end of Cashtown Road at State Route 120. Then there's Intricate Equipment where they sell tractor farm supplies and feed and stuff. There's Music Depot that I know about.
Yeah, none of them are 17 acres.
There's a trucking business, I think, listed with the Secretary of State's website on Cashtown Road, in and around, maybe across the street from this address. There's Carl Owens Construction is on there, I think, I don't know how much land is there, but it's probably more than 17 acres. So, I mean, that's some of them. But, again, there is a website that you can go to and search every address on Cashtown Road, and I think you'll find additional businesses out there.
I would like to add, it's a relocate. I feel like it is the responsibility of the county to relocate. We don't want to shut the business down, okay? The 17.5 acres, that's significant, gentlemen. I don't care where you're from or how long that business has been there, okay? That's a significant piece of property. That's settling for growth.
I understand, and I respect that.
That's significant. There's places in Haralson County for him to thrive. You can put him there, okay?
Well, I can't.
I can't, and the county can't legally put him there. You know, he bought the property with the understanding that he was gonna put the business there, you know?
Business was already there.
Yeah, business was, right.
Okay.
And did we have any complaints from anybody before?
Well, it was not 17.5 acres, sir.
And Mr. Chairman, the time for public comment is ended, and I'd recommend that we not allow any further public comment.
All right, thank you. From our attorney. All right. There's three of us. What are we gonna do?
Call for a vote.
Call for a vote. Let's go.
Well, discussion's over with.
All in favor, let it be known by uplifting your hand.
I believe that was two,
Two.
so motion would fail.
Well, that's right, for the lack of.
You still need to call for the all opposed.
All opposed? Okay. All righty, my understanding is that this can still, he could still move it forward to the whole commission, is that not correct? That's correct, it doesn't have to have our recommendation to go to the commission.
It'll have to go to the board of commissioners.
That's the
Your
recommendation.
board is just a recommendation.
Recommending board, that's right.
Correct.
To the board of commissioners. It'll have to be
Yep.
another public hearing, another meeting with the board of commissioners.
So it will go to the Board of Commissioners. They will have their hearing April the 16th at 6 p.m. Right here. It's in this.
Is there any
Okay.
further business?
No other business?
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Motion to adjourn. Okay, I second. All in favor? Okay.
And one correction, we said April 8th was the next planning commission. It's April 9th.
April
The second
9th.
Tuesday is April 9th, yes.
Is the next planning commission.
Planning commission, yeah.
And the Board of Commissioners meets
The April 16th.
April 16th,